Anime, a genre loved by many and has taken the world by storm in the past few years. With Star Wars being the biggest IP on the planet, some have wondered what a Star Wars anime would look like. And now we know with the release of Star Wars Visions. 9 different anime episodes with different styles and stories written for the Star Wars universe. These stories aren't canon, but they show us what Star Wars can do in an anime style. I myself have not seen an anime till Star Wars Visions, and there were a lot of things I liked and disliked about it. The first thing that I noticed was the very interesting change in style. The style of anime is very different from live action and cartoon animation. There is a flow to the animation that pulls the story with it. I noticed that there is more emotion and details when it comes to anime. In cartoons or live action, I noticed that scenes move much faster than they did in anime. The details are more drawn out and you can feel the emotion and tension as there is more weight to the scene. Some scenes did feel slow at times, but it wasn't that bad. Now with there being 9 episodes each telling a different story, there were also 9 different animation styles to each episode. Some animation styles I didn't like as much as the others. One in particular was episode 6 titled T0B1. Now this is just my opinion, but the animation style for this episode just didn't sit well with me. I mean, the main robot kid reminded me of Astro Boy, and the scientist looked like one of the 7 dwarfs from Snow White. It was just kind of off and took me out of the story a little bit. However, there were some episode animations that really stood out to me, and they were episode 1, The Duel, 4, The Village Bride, and number 7, The Elder. The first episode, The Duel, had the most standout animation out of all of them. It was mostly in black and white, with the exceptions of colored lightsabers and blaster bolts, but the scenes moved in a way as if it was like a flipbook. It gave off the illusion of a slow flipbook, but it was quite the opposite. The animation fit well with the theme, which was an old town with a western samurai vibe to it. At first, I thought it looked a little trippy and didn't feel right, but a few minutes in and I was completely hooked. Somehow, it just worked. The anime style with a samurai theme just clicked so well together. Now, we've seen our traditional Star Wars for a while now, and just having this new anime twist was very refreshing. George Lucas actually took inspiration from old samurai movies when he was creating Star Wars, so maybe that's why having anime and samurai styles mixed together felt right. It all comes together to create something that manages to balance a delicate line between feeling like Star Wars and feeling unlike anything Star Wars has done before. It's sort of like a tightrope. Each episode makes the balance seem effortless. But what makes Visions act less a mastery of balance and more like watching some best in the field gymnast somersault backflip all over that tightrope is that each episode also raises that vital question. What even is Star Wars, beyond aesthetic and the ideals in its deepest of hearts? Although the vast majority of these episodes leverage the franchise's never-ending cyclical conflict between the Jedi and Sith for their underpinnings, not a story goes by without a mention of that ever-present energy field that binds us all. The glow of a kyber crystal, or of course the fabled humming presence of a lightsaber. The very best among the 9 episodes found here leverage that conflict to touch upon themes that have interwoven themselves throughout the Star Wars saga. Their ideas, quite like the Force itself, have become the binding elements that ties these tales together across all forms and themes that capture the feel of Star Wars. The power of love, hope, romance, and family, the need to grow beyond destiny or position to find your truest self, the embrace of legacy found in your own lineage or in a legacy of your own making, the families we choose to make or are connected to by blood, and the tragedy that can come to those connections are severed by conflict and evil, the simple need to aspire to be the good you want to see in the universe and for it to triumph over evil. It is these beliefs that Star Wars is really built on, more than it could be built on the hilt of a lightsaber or in a cockpit of an X-Wing. Star Wars is an idea, one that has spoken to people across the world and across generations, because its real heart lies beyond the best CGI, exciting visuals, and cinematography, but in the stories themselves. And that's what Star Wars Visions brings to the table. Fresh, new, exciting stories with all the elements of Star Wars that we love. Sure, there was episodes that I didn't like as much, but that's the great part about it. There was something for everyone. If I don't like something, it doesn't mean someone else can. The visuals, music, characters, and stories were really well done in the short amount of time that they were given. Even with the episodes being 13 to 20 minutes, they managed to pack a lot of detail and content into it. And sometimes it didn't feel like the episodes were that short because how good the storytelling was. My favorite episodes out of Visions were episode 1, The Duel, 4, The Village Bride, 5, The Ninth Jedi, 7, The Elder, and 8, Lop and Ocho. These stories to me in particular resonated well and had the closest feeling of a classic Star Wars story. Like I said before, the power of love, romance, hope, and family are strong elements in Star Wars, and I felt that these episodes with certain anime visual styles and production really mix well. Now that is just my opinion, so let me know in the comments what your favorite episodes were and why. Now for my first ever watched anime, I would give Visions a solid 8 out of 10.